Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we're going to be taking a look at Apxvoid's latest iteration of Murloc Mage, the Murmage. For those of you who haven't seen the Murloc Mage deck, it's kind of an offshoot or an evolution or a side evolution of Tempo Mage, which is a deck that's trying to get a lot of early advantage, stay on board, use its minions to get some damage through, and has a lot of reach with the burn spells that Mage has access to, in combination with Alaneth to help you draw and dig through all of your deck to find all of the burn. So the way that Murloc Mage differs is by playing a whole bunch of Murlocs. It replaces the secret package. We actually don't have any secrets in this deck, no Kirin Mages, which I don't think we've done that for quite a while in Tempo Mage. But it replaces a lot of those, a lot of that secret package, a lot of those minions, with Murlocs, which are obviously a very aggressive choice. Even got the Grimscale Oracle in here, which is not even in every aggressive Murloc deck, even though it is one of the most aggressive Murlocs to play along with the Tidecaller. So we've got the Oracle, the Tidecaller, the Bluga Warrior, which is the charge one, the Murloc Tidehunter, which kind of lets us go wide and also gives us a bunch of triggers off our Tidecaller. That's probably going to be one of the quickest ways to kill our opponent. But what we really want to do is go Tidecaller into Rockpool Hunter. This makes our Tidecaller a lot more resilient, particularly against all of the odd rogues out there. Gives it 3 toughness. Makes it very hard to trade into, and also starts really putting the hurt on your opponent. Our best out against Warlock and Big Spell Mage, a lot of these decks that have damage-based sweepers, is the Cold Light Seer. Comes down, buffs the health of all of our Murlocs, and hopefully puts them out of the range of Defile and Hellfire. These kinds of things. Murloc Warleader is the flip side. This is going to give all of our Murlocs +2 attack, and this is going to be one of the best ways to kill our opponents. Get a bunch of Murlocs on board, give them all +2 attack, slay your opponent, and it's also one of the reasons that we'll probably see a lot of our opponents really try and control the amount of Murlocs that we have on board. Nightmare Amalgam is just another, in this deck it's another Murloc, a good statted one as well. 3/4 right now for 3 is pretty good. Now we've also got the Gentle Megazord to kind of top the curve of our Murloc theme. On Battlecry, adapts all of our Murlocs. It's also a 5/4 for 4 mana, so pretty half-decent rate where we're fine to... We obviously feel bad if our board gets wiped, but we can play this on its own, and it's totally reasonable stats. But adapting all of our Murlocs, this could potentially give us +3 attack, so that we can really smash our opponents. Could be giving us Divine Shield or the Death Rattle, which makes us or plus health, which makes us very resilient to board clears. And any number of things in between. Wind Fury, of course, being a fantastic one. So those are all the Murloc cards. One of the big reasons to play this kind of very minion-heavy mage deck is the Book of Spectres. So it's a card you might not have seen before. It does come from Witchwood. 2 mana, draw 3 cards, but you discard any spells drawn. So the best comparison for this is Arcane Intellect, which costs 3 and draws you 2 cards. So even if we are only drawing, if there's 1 spell in those 3 cards, we're still drawing 2 cards for 2 mana, which is really good. And Apxvoid has cut down a lot of the spells in this deck. In fact, we've only got Frostbolts and Fireballs outside of the Book of Spectres. So, you know, whenever you're casting this, there may only be 5 spells left in the deck of, you know, 20 or more cards. So we're actually pretty likely to draw like 2.5 or 3 cards here, which is really good. It's going to give us a lot of gas. It also doesn't discard Alaneth, which is a really big deal. So we've just got a lot of gas in here, which I think is really important because we are going to hit a lot of decks that will control us on board, like Odd Rogue, or that will be able to sweep us away. The most curious card in this list, that the one that I'm looking out for to see how it performs, is a 2 of Arcane Keysmith. So given that the secret pool is actually quite low, we're incredibly likely to discover the more powerful secrets that we want to see, which is Explosive Runes and Counterspell. But we could also get our opponents with things like a frozen clone or something like that. So I'm interested to see how this one functions. Hopefully it's a body that also stops our opponent's next threat. Kind of in Magic we'd say time walks them, in that they spend their turn doing nothing. So that's what I hope for. Obviously, worst case scenario, it's like an understated threat that doesn't get us a relevant secret, or it gets us a secret that, you know, our opponent's just going to play a Firefly into our Frozen Clone or something like that, or that they don't have anything in their deck that triggers Spellbender. But yeah, that's the deck. I'm really curious to see how this one goes. I've never played Murloc Mage before, so it might take a bit of learning, but we're going to jump into some games.
Jaina versus Anduin.
Alright, we are here with Apxvoid's Murloc Mage. So we're definitely keeping the Tide Caller here. I'm not sure about the 3s. Because it feels like we really want to find a Tide Hunter or a Rock Pool Hunter with this kind of hand. Actually going to keep the Cold Lights here as well. Not too sure about that one. I would love your thoughts if you're watching this on YouTube in the comments. What do you reckon we should be trying to find with Mulligan? Quest Priest. So this definitely a deck that we might be able to get under. Unfortunate. This is where we want the Rock Pool Hunter, not the Tide Hunter. Guess we can coin out this Cold Lights here, which will buff us to 4, gets us out of the range of getting traded into.
What to do?
Let's go with that. So already we're having to make lots of decisions that we are not exactly prepared to do. Are we getting Duskbreaker next turn? Guess we'll find out.
Job done.
Well, they aren't just snapping off the Duskbreaker, which is a pretty good sign for us. I'm not sure if Duskbreaker is like a high inclusion in a lot of Death Rattle Priests or a low inclusion. Once again, we're kind of at another fork here where we can go for the Keysmith and try and hit like a counter spell. Which is pretty good if our opponent's going to try and like Holy Nova us.
What to do? What to do?
Though Holy Nova's pretty, I don't know, feels kind of loose. Let's see if I can quickly bring up a Quest Priest.
I wonder.
Quest Priest. Back to deck list. Quest Priest. What have you got in here? Duskbreakers. Does have Duskbreakers. Alright, I'm gonna go for the Rock Pool. Oh no.
Time runs out on me.
I'll go for the Kiss.
Need a key?
I'll take the counter spell. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe we should have been putting our foot on the gas to try and
Rot into my core.
Like, our opponent probably doesn't have the Duskbreaker, so we're free to bash in.
Perfect fit.
Bone Drake. Yeah, so this counterspell. Okay, I was thinking the counterspell might be good against the Psychic Scream. Whoa! Triple Spirit Lash. Gosh darn. Do we try and save some gas after the Psychic Scream? We probably can't afford to.
Job's done.
Mike, I guess we have to accept that we probably lose to Triple Spirit Lash Psychic Scream, right? Hey Feathers, how we doing? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh, that's a pretty good draw, hey? Surely we don't need to play this, right? I think so.
My master will return.
Solid. Solid. Oof, that was a bit of a rough one. Bit of a sweater for the first game. Definitely had a lot of those very early decisions that we didn't know exactly how to navigate through. So, whew, hopefully that's a good learning experience from us, and we'll be back with another one. That can't be a good matchup for us either. The Quest Priest.
Jaina versus Gul'dan.
Right up against a Wallop.
Soul shall be mine.
You asked for it.
Ooh. Ooh. I think we just snapped this one off here. Probably lost without counterspell. Yeah, actually we definitely would have. Yeah, you're totally right there, Feathers. Do we snap this one off or do you send back the Mana Worm? And we're on the coin too? I think we just keep this. Yeah, so that Arcane Keysmith definitely came in handy. It's a pretty ridiculous draw, to be honest. The Book of Spectres as well.
The end is coming.
That's a good counter. So if we rock Pool Hunter, we're only dealing 5. So I guess we'll book. Get the 3 hits. And slain. Opponent had a really good counter to our commitment. Obviously, if we had maybe just thrown out one of the Murlocs, might have been a bit better.
We hunger for vengeance.
Interesting. So we could go for the Keysmith, or we could go for Rockpool Hunter Ping. I think I'm fine with Rockpool Hunter Ping. It also gets out of Defiler range. Develops the board a little bit. Like now a Megazord is actually like pretty considerable. Yeah, got us out of the range of the Dreadlord. So I'm going to trade that off there. I think the 1 toughness minions are a massive liability. Sleep. Kind of want to take this opportunity to get a Keysmith out there. Like, yes, Alaneth would be good, but giving our opponent the first shot at getting on board is maybe a bit too rough. Yucky. What spells could they be casting? We'll just take the mana bind. Like, just in case they play like Hellfire. Sure. So I thought about Spellstone when it came to the Spellbender, but I was like, they just can't have any like charged up Spellstones, so.
I wonder.
So we could go Tidehunter Fungal, but that's still pretty bad against Hellfire. So what I think I might do is actually go Warleader Coldlight Seer. Doesn't use our mana the most effectively, but it does give us a more resilient threat. So if I fireball myself, it'll power up the Spellstone, right? Okay, I kind of like this.
I can't do that.
Mushroom power!
Darkness rises.
Eeeh.
I
Well,
wonder.
we're probably gonna have to find some gas to get through here quickly.
You grasp the infinite, Mage.
We don't want to kill this in case they have
The power courses through.
in case they have Gul'dan next turn. There's Spellbreaker potentially. There's no Spellbreaker in this list, unfortunately.
Me, take fruit. You're so sweet.
He's gonna kill all of his boys though. How do I want to do this?
Job's done.
The power courses
Still kind of a dog if they have the Gul'dan.
Blood and shadow.
At least we don't lose anything to the Dreadlord.
Your suffering will be legendary.
What to do? What to do? Time runs out on me. The key.
Job's done.
Time runs out on me.
revel in the power.
Seemed like a Gul'dan setup. Yeah, it definitely was. I think we needed to extend a bit more into things and accept that, like, yeah, there are going to be some games where we get done in by hellfires and stuff, but we just need to. We also need to make sure we can kill them before the Gul'dan comes down. We'll pack this one up.
You win.
Senless asks, do I like puzzles? Yeah, puzzles are gas.
Jaina versus
Okay.
Reza.
Here against the Hunter.
You asked for it.
There we go. Want to do a HS puzzle, like find the lethal ones? Yeah, I might after we're done recording some of these videos. Might do some puzzles if we got the time. Lead tide coordinator.
Job done.
Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. I mean, I really want to do this, but we just get so punished by explosive trap. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually... Ugh.
Time runs out on me. What to do? What to do?
Alright, we'll do it. What do y'all think there? Are we about to get explosive trapped out of the game? No. We're not. What is this? Sucks to lose that. But let's get some damage in. Always greed. Oof. That's a pretty good motto to live by. Always greed. Hey! That one goes to feathers. Always greed. Alright, we'll do another one because that one was...
Jaina
Alright.
versus Morgul.
The Shaman. Are we against David? This is our like 3 of our highest win rate cards here. Question is, against Shaman, does Frostbolt do anything? I guess our better draws are like Megazord, Wall Eater, Book of Spectres. Yeah, I think we can get some. We can get better than Frostbolt. There we go. If he had the explosive trap, we can just complain about how unlucky it is, so it's fine. I try and keep the salt levels to a minimum, you know. I think it's really tough, but like actively stopping yourself from using the word lucky when talking about Hearthstone is pretty tough, but I think it actually leads to a kind of a more thoughtful discussion, if that makes sense. I think it's very easy for people to kind of just be like, they got lucky, we got unlucky, they won, we lost. Kind of stops people from taking that next step and you know, looking at their own play. And yeah, at the end of the day, you know, sometimes you can boil it down to, you know, someone did have better variance than someone else, but try and avoid that.
Nice to meet you.
Right. The shooter wall. Oh my gosh. Zap. What a sick response our opponent had. Am I on NA servers? Yes, I believe so. I always forget what what servers they tend to default Australia to. We're getting blown up here a little bit. We just need to get our opponent off of this board. You definitely don't want them going into turn 5 with an Acolyte of Pain up. Like, Acolyte Volcano is just a proper beating. Yeesh. Maybe it's not Shudderwalk. Yeah. Elemental. This is super rough. If we had somehow been, if we could have found a way to buy ourselves an extra turn, or buy ourselves even an extra half of a turn, to get one of these Arcane Keysmiths down, and we could potentially be like explosive runesing one of these bigger drops.
Need a key?
But now we're just that turn behind. That zap was sick. That zap was absolutely wonderful. Thalmos zap is something that I'm gonna be looking out for, trying to play in some shaman decks. Just because 3 toughness right now is like quite a big deal.
Key?
Was this discovered? Yeah.
Perfect fit.
Play a fire elemental. That'll be gas. Damn it. I don't want plated beetles. Our opponent's hand must be something real interesting. Like possibly volcanoes and lightning storms.
Mushroom power.
Think those kind of cards make a lot of sense. I think Hex makes a lot of sense. At least we have armor.
Job's done.
Yeah.
Well
They got
you win this.
a really interesting game for that last one. Even though we copped that loss, our opponent showed us kind of exactly what what a deck needs to do in order to beat this kind of fairly low to the ground list. So overall, the deck functioned really well. I really liked it. Even this the one-off Fungal Mancer was good. I'm still kind of up and down on this Arcane Keysmith. There was definitely that that first game against the Priest where the counterspell stopped us from dying, or like we probably would have died against the counterspell, against the Spirit Lash, and also set us up to protect against the Psychic Scream. So it was kind of invaluable there. But then, as we saw, kind of at that last game, we really need to be ahead, or maybe even on parity, on board when we play Arcane Keysmith. Like, it really does nothing to help us get back into the game. It only helps us either get more ahead or help shift a balanced game to one that's favored to yourself. Other than that, the only thing that I'd like to maybe find is room for a Spellbreaker. Just one. You know, it really does suck to have to spend a Fireball or something on a Taunt. And I think maybe even we could swap out one of the Arcane Keysmiths for a Spellbreaker, but then again, you know, this list, as we mentioned, does come to us from Apxvoid, and, you know, far be it from me to say that they're wrong on anything, because they're a mage master, they're a deck building wizard. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. If you are watching this video on YouTube, all the links to everything will be down in the description, including a link to the deck on Hearthstone, the deck code if you want to copy this and give the deck a try yourself, and there'll also be links to Apxvoid on social media and stuff, so you can hit them up and say thanks for the fantastic deck. And all my links will be down there if you want to hit me up. Best place to do that is on Twitter at Tommy_Wave. And yeah, I do want to let everyone know, if you are a subscriber or interested in subscribing, that my emote just got approved. So we now have the Stay Wavy emote, which I'll get some in the chat there. But yeah, so until next time, new outro, stay wavy. Bye.